you're on your walk, stop and have your lunch. But again, proportion and reasonability is the rationale behind this. If you are going out and you're going on a 1 hour walk, you can sit down and spend 15 minutes having your coffee on a bench. That's allowed. What you can't do is walk to the park for 10 minutes and sit on a bench, because any time you are sat or lying sunbathing, you are restricting other people's flow of movement. They have to stay more than 2 meters.
Can you fucking hear this fucking dopey, dumbass fucking bitch, man?
We know someone quite close to us here who, over the weekend, bought a coffee and a newspaper and some banana bread on their walk, and then sat on a bench and was moved on by the police because it wasn't seen as an essential stop, although he was actually
Oh, utter garbage. I can't even believe we're even having these sort of conversations and debates. Even having these conversations is pathetic enough before they've even started it, in my opinion.
People can't pass by you at a safe distance, then it's unreasonable. We all have to allow interpretation of these rules.
There is no virus. That's what you need to get in your fucking heads.
So we mustn't be selfish about this. And if you're, by sitting and eating your banana
selfish.
And your coffee, you're restricting
selfish.
other people safely around you, then that's quite right.
Oh, not bad enough that he's been introduced that you can't even go out. There's no selfish about that. It's just selfish when you sit there for an extra couple of minutes when you shouldn't do. That's what's selfish. Oh, we're all right.
You want to take 2 short walks, or you might find for your mental well-being, you want a short walk in the morning and a slightly longer walk in the afternoon. So it is relaxed. Again, be reasonable. You're not allowed to go out and do a marathon and then go out and, and sit out.
This woman needs to take herself to the nearest lavatory, put her head down it, and pull the fucking lever.
Yes, this is really important to people.
What a pathetic bitch.
If you've got children and they're split between 2.
If I was married to this woman now, I'd fucking file for divorce.
And vitally, we've seen domestic violence, domestic abuse.
See, she's been getting plenty of fucking sun in her.
In this lockdown time.
Lockdown, eh? Look at her fucking chest.
If you're in danger, or if you're in an argument, or if things have escalated in your house, you can move to another household. You can go to a friend's. You can't just pop round for an hour and have a moan over a cup of coffee about how irritating your partner is being over the dishwasher. This is for serious circumstances when you need to cool down for a number of days. You need to take ease out of the situation. You need to go away for your safety. So this is really important.
All about safety, folks.
Do not abuse it. This is for people who really,
plugging
really
it.
need it this time.
Keep plugging the safety word. Safety, safety,
Well,
safety.
We've all seen the pictures of people coming out of DIY shops just laden down with all this stuff that doesn't look essential. You can buy tools to repair or to mend or to maintain. You cannot go out on a mission to buy paint and wallpaper to renovate or improve things. I know it's
And where it comes in when you're using your own tool, what's in your pants?
It's part of another journey.
It's not about tools. How does that count if you want to use your own tool on your missus?
Around you, and it's a selfish thing to do. So
where's that coming?
So if you are in Boots and you're getting a prescription, can you buy aftershave?
Oh my lord.
Absolutely, of course you can. And if you're in the supermarket,
Britain has now become fucking mad.
To fall into your trolley, that's not a problem.
I think we need to start opening up more of these fucking nut houses, to be honest with you.
The vets are open.
There's not as many open as there used to be in the 70s. Fuck, we need fucking open new nut houses. I think that she should be in fucking one of them.
You're not a charity. Yes, you can, and yes, you must. This is really, really important. There are still elderly people undergoing foods or experiencing food insecurity because of problems with supermarket deliveries. It is important we identify and help the people around us. So yes, you can.
How's about if we come out of lockdown? That'll help us all.
95% of flights
Stupid
are shut
bitch.
down, but you could if you wanted, but the FCO say absolutely essential travel only. And don't forget that if you're
essential travel, it's
a £30.
Well, any tablet you take's essential, isn't it? Or else you won't be fucking taking it. What a stupid bitch.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the sunshine. Right,
Go flush your head down the toilet, you fucking fake fuck.
Tommy joins us to discuss how the Queen is spending her 94th birthday today. That's right after this.
that's why BT and ITV have asked me to stop by to talk about how technology can help us to stay happy and healthy at home. Now, you might already be the expert in this, and that's absolutely
Another
fine.
fucking twisted advert in your lockdown.
Quite surprised to see how
Being rammed in your face. It's a new one, this one, folks. Let's check it out.
Or to use mindfulness and meditation apps on your smartphone, all of which can help our mental and physical well-being. It's completely natural to be feeling stressed or anxious at this point in time, but there's a variety of digital resources that can really help us all. There are so many wonderful apps that have guided meditations or breathwork sessions that you can get via the app or Play stores. I've had a bunch
She's being paid for say all this by BT.
And a bit of meditation really helps. It's a good idea to aim for a healthy mind, but it's obviously a good idea to also aim for a healthy body. I love using apps.
How can you aim for an healthy mind if government have put you in lockdown?
On YouTube.
Well, she thinks she can be in an healthier fucking mind by fucking around on your phone. The invention what's fucking brainwashed you all your bastard life. That's an healthy mind.
And I feel mentally better after it too.
Get on your phone. Keeps your mind fucking more sane. What a stupid bastard.
GCSE Spanish certainly needs dusting off. You could try an online course to learn something new over the coming weeks.
In other words, this advert's trying to tell you, start using more of your apps, try and push you over into more technology. That's all what the advert's purely about.
Interviews with brilliant people. It's also really important that we stay.
Start using your phone more.
You could download.
He's just pushing propaganda.
Or use one of the pre-existing apps on your phone.
Start you getting on your apps. Start using. It's all planned, all orchestrated, all this while you're in lockdown. This advert now, because there's that many sheep, they'll start fucking getting into this even more.
Oh, what a good idea. I'll download these apps and start using these, because she told me to.
Take that daily exercise, try out
Fuck me.
creative writing, do whatever you want to do that makes you feel
Another
good.
bought and paid for bozo. Celebrity bozo.
It can leave you feeling quite overwhelmed. So a bit before bed, my phone goes.
How jumping on your phone and sitting on there on apps for fucking hours can do wonders for your sanity is beyond fucking me.
Then, hopefully, I'll get a good night's
But
sleep.
she seems to think so.
Thank you for watching. Hopefully some of my tips
Fern Cotton is her name.
and might help you create your own happy place in your own home during these very strange times.
You're not happy, locked up between four walls.
And ITV.
Let's shove Fern Cotton in a fucking cell for 5 days. Let's see how happy she'll be, because that's similar to being at your home.
Come here, come Sarah.
Hiya.
Hi everybody. I honestly don't know what day of the week it is. Pocket hook.
Jesus, can you believe this?
Together we can.
Advert after advert.
I'm gonna let this virus take any
Plugging it.
that I love.
Advert after advert. Plugging it.
On ITV.
Time?
Most people having their birthdays in these strange times. It's going to be a bit of a damp squib, unfortunately. So she's there in Windsor Castle, still self-isolating with Prince Philip at 98. And it's going to be quite quiet.
You're alright isolating in a fucking building like that. Have you seen fucking size of a garden?
Conference call in there because I know that the Queen has been.
Get down London to see people fucking in a block of flats with no fucking garden.
As matters of state have taken place virtually, so she held her first Privy Council meeting on Zoom a couple of weeks ago. So there may be that kind of video conferencing interaction, but like all families, unfortunately, because of their age, they're isolated in Windsor and they can't see their nearest and dearest.
Not at all.
Do the gun salute.
Seen the size of the fucking castle, man.
Which has been around
Far
for
bigger than a
decades.
fucking
She
a
is
flat, innit?
appropriate. The last thing she wants is
As if that's her
to
problem.
outside Buckingham Palace.
And she won't be moving around as much as someone in the 20s anyway, because she's fucking 94.
To be fair, royals don't really do birthdays. They're more into
God,
celebrations around
let's all feel sorry for the Queen. She's in isolation.
They're not big on birthdays.
She can't move around much.
Camilla, we should.
She's only got a fucking massive fucking castle, a big fucking mansion, paid for by the state, the taxpayer, and fucking grounds bigger than anyone can fucking dream of, but let's all feel sorry for her.
With him to accept help.
Oh, what a fucking shame. Sooner the better when she's in a fucking coffin, if you ask me. They're all fucking trash.
Left her father, didn't offer any
Murdering bastards. Fucking murdered Diana Enroad as far as I'm concerned.
So a lot of people would be quite surprised by seeing these messages today.
Yes, exactly. This is the opening salvo in their court case against the Mail on Sunday in the Mail, who viewers might remember published this intimate letter between Meghan and her father, laying bare her emotions around his behaviour in the run-up to the wedding. All of the time it had been asserted really by Thomas Markle and the newspaper that they hadn't offered any help, they'd just cast him adrift down in New Mexico, and he ran into trouble because he didn't have any support.
Hey, it shows something though, don't it, how royal family run fucking a good food supply and drugs what no one else, not accessible to any public person, eh? Reached 94, her own mother reached fucking a good age.
Don't need to apologise. We understand the circumstances, but going public will only.
She won't be getting a fucking flu shot every year, and she won't be getting this fucking coronavirus shot neither. I can guarantee you that.
Having to speak to the media, who incidentally created this whole situation. So please call me so I can explain. Meg and I are not angry. We just need to speak to you. Thanks. Oh, and speaking to the press will backfire. Trust me, Tom. Only we can help, as we've been trying from day one. All of that. Very different to what was reported in the newspapers.
That's because the newspaper reports shit.
People were still scratching their heads at the time.
Like the BBC.
Back to May 2018, at the notion that Harry hadn't even met his father-in-law and that they hadn't flown out to try and square all this with him in advance. So that's a difficulty. Second of all, while I think that the texts do lay bare their side of the story, and that's what this quest against the press is all about, this idea that there should be balance in reporting. What's counterintuitive about it is the fact that this is about a breach of privacy. This is about the fact that this letter that Meghan penned to her father was exposed in the public. And yet this very court case is even more publicly exposing. In a way, they are invading their own privacy by releasing these texts in order to set the record straight. So some people
you know, they're totally hypocritical, aren't they, BBC and all this, and ITV, whatever. ITV, they sent it, I think. Going on about breach of privacy. Fucking hell, we're all breached of his privacy on a fucking daily basis. Tracking you by your fucking mobile phone and God knows what else. You get letters through your fucking door from companies where you've never even had out to do with. That's a breach of privacy. That's because whoever you're registered with, for whatever you're registered for, they sell your fucking data on. That's a breach of privacy, right there.
Instead, why would she make that decision?
To be fair, I don't think the Good Morning America interview was ever set in stone. It had been mooted that now they're over in LA, she could do her first live interview, although that would have been done remotely. And I think there was this conclusion that actually the timing wasn't quite right. Although she's given this brief...
Makes you wonder why Meghan and Harry have actually moved away from royal family and out of the
timing of some of the couple's interventions,
the face of the British people, really, didn't it? The public eye, that's what I was looking for, the public eye.
Is this the right time?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Getting the record straight about her interactions with the royal family. So whatever the plans that there was, and we know that Good Morning America have been offering the couple
something you wouldn't have thought would happen years earlier, isn't it, if you were told.
What about their decision to write to the editors of the Sun, the Mirror, the Mail and the Express and their websites saying that that's it, they refuse to cooperate with them?
That's all gone quite over him, hasn't it?
The Society of Editors, which represents the newspapers...
What's his name? Phil Schofield, that's all gone quite over him, hasn't it, really?
I mean, it is quite propagandist to basically only speak to favoured journalists who you know are going to give you a good right...
Suddenly coming out he was gay because he fucking had to. Some fucking young lad was getting blow whistle on him. I don't know if any of you have looked up that. Some young lad who worked in fucking on the show was young at the time, 18 and 19 years old, and he was having an affair with him or something, this Philip Schofield, and that young lad was threatening blowed whistle. So rather than look a fucking complete cunt, Schofield that fucking come clean. Don't know if any of you know that.
Reading things that aren't necessarily true, as they've just said, by publishing, or they're not connecting with them.
Well, what does that make Schofield?
They're connecting with them in a story that's
dabbling with an 18-year-old fucking guy.
Or was true to them.
Yeah, the nation still loves him.
We also know that when we ask people to corroborate or comment on stories, I mean, I had a penny for every time aspects of royal stories would
It's just become more and more accepted, hasn't it? Fucking
I'd be a rich woman, right? Of course, we're under an obligation
sort of
to
pedo behaviour.
in a balanced way. That's why I come on this show and we write stories at length, but not corroborating or collaborating.
Anyway, that's another story, isn't it?
Doesn't help.
There's a lot of stuff you can delve and find out over all this paedophilia stuff, deep state paedophilia.
The tabloids carte blanche to write what they like. And equally, there's these collaborations going on in America with certain journalists who we know have had a habit.
It's fucking deeper than you can possibly imagine, I can tell you that.
This idea that you have to ask
Epstein, fucking tip of the iceberg, that
is a bit of a fallacy in the first place. When I was writing for a tabloid, the Sunday Express, and I broke the story of their relationship in October 2016, I didn't actually run it past the palace first because I knew it was true. It did turn out to be true. So let's not pretend that everything that's been written about the Sussexes and the tabloids is false. Of course it's not.
But also it means that any one of those tabloids can pick up a story that's written in a broadsheet and then spin it in their own way. So there's no way they can control the media.
No, of course. And equally, we're in this, not only 24/7 news cycle, but every minute of the day, blogs are updated and websites are refreshed. And so we have breaking news the whole time. And that's quite right. If my paper, The Telegraph, for instance, was able to land an interview with Harry and Meghan where they talked about anything from elephants to the press to Archie to the Queen, we would run it online, and then obviously all the tabloids could quite happily rip it off. I mean, I've had a look, for instance, this morning at the tabloid coverage of the texts, and it's all comprehensive. I mean, it's not like the tabloids are sitting on this information about these texts that have been now revealed to have been sent by Harry and Meghan to Thomas Markle. They're covering it.
Biggest thing right now is what's going on really is the fucking coronavirus, isn't it? And us being locked down and your rights being removed, abused, new powers coming out, but let's talk about fucking Meghan and Harry's fucking protective rights. Priority, I suppose, isn't it? That's TV for you.
Oh, Lord.
That's the priority.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll end it there, I think. It's a suitable place to...
You know what these pair are fucking laughing at?
Thank you. Right, still to come, if you've been missing your morning latte fix, so we'll be showing you how to get barista-style coffee in care homes. In the week up to April the 10th, more than 1,000 deaths were registered in care homes.
That's the same rate.
217 the week before.
That's the same rate as normal, 1,000 a week. It's the same rate. It's already been said.
Care Association.
No different than normal. 1,000 old people in care homes a week die. It's the same rate.
Outbreaks. Nadia Ahmed, thank you for talking.
I've even got the proof to show you on some footage.
There were
same as every other year.
Deaths in care homes in the week up to Good Friday.
Sadly, it's not totally unexpected. We
That's right.
hope that the figures would be less, but I think there is more and more evidence that they may be more. And it is disappointing. It's disappointing for the families. It's disappointing for the carers who have done their utmost to contain this within very difficult circumstances. But certainly, if we'd had the testing in place, if we'd had
nothing to do with the testing. Nothing to do with the testing.
We may have tried to been able to mitigate some of the figures that we're looking at.
They've been letting him go by not giving him the adequate medication and ventilators and things like that. It's already been said.
Lack of guidance, inclusivity.
That's why more have died in nursing homes, because they've been at their lives have been in the hands of the system.
To deal with it in the best way that they can.
By not even letting loved ones come. Very simple to stop loved ones coming to see the families. You just tell them they've got coronavirus. That's all. And that was the plan.
The sector is really being resilient, trying to do its best.
Say they tested positive. Sorry, you can't come see your granddad, who's fucking 94.
What you have just said, Nadra Ahmed, is damning. You have
that is what's been going on, people.
Some of these deaths in care homes were preventable. Had you had testing, had there been a strategy in place?
What's testing got to do with it? What's testing got to do with it?
We have to think like that, because of course we're being told that there
if you had cancer and you're dying, what the fuck's a test got to do?
We would hope that they would would have
You're fucking dying anyway.
if we'd had everything in place. And
Testing's got nothing to do with it.
Challenge that we faced, and we continue to face that challenge of being able to get the proper PPE in, and now we've got testing in place that will make a huge.
First thing they've been targeting since lockdown with all this coronavirus is the old people.
Support the fact that we need.
They were the first target. They kept banging on about them.
And providers made those decisions.
Bill Gates, I'll say again. I said, let's not concentrate on the old people.
Very proactive about how they could prevent it.
Okay, and these figures, of course.
One interview he gave, he said, "Oh, that's called the death panel, but we're not supposed to talk about that." That's Bill Gates for you. The death panel.
In reality, it's going to be many more than that who've died.
And laughed and joked about it.
Isn't it?
Well, these are assumptions we have to make because, of course, we've not had the testing in place. So without having that, we don't know if people have died of COVID-19 or something else. And I think the data is really important because it's actually hopefully going to put pressure on government to start to look at the social care sector differently, as they have done with everybody else, and make sure that they are putting more of the resource through to enable providers to continue to care for the people that we are caring for and our staff. I think it's a pandemic.
How a lot of these doctors, nurses are choosing to be silent over what they're being ordered to do is beyond me.
And I think that's why we
be honest with you.
To contain it to where we are.
Because there is a couple that have come forward and said
being well looked after in care
that they've
in many cases, because you have
been told they've got to put COVID-19 or coronavirus on every death certificate. That's where the figures are coming from.
So these are large numbers.
Fake figures.
Yes, thank you very much, Nadra. Thank you, Nadra Ahmed, who is the chairman of the National Care Association. Let's talk to Eric Fuster. He has experience of working to control infection and cholera and Ebola. Good morning to you, Mr. Fuster. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your expertise, first of all, and how it might relate to care homes in the UK?
Well, hi, morning. I've been working in emergency response settings for on and off for the past 25 years, mainly in Africa and also parts of Asia. Part of that took me to Haiti to help set up cholera treatment centres over there. That was back in 2011. More recently, I was out in Sierra Leone in 2014 to help manage an Ebola treatment centre there and the infection control procedures that were in place, and we were trying to sort of...
He'll know more than he's ever getting let on, I tell you that.
Yeah,
stuff he knows what he's saying.
Outbreak experience, and we're trying to sort of think about what we know about transmission of viruses based on that experience, and also what we know...
Oh, do you know that this coronavirus can't be transmitted through airborne then, do you?
The SARS
That's what some are saying.
And we're trying to think about how that could be put into the care home context, which is a much more complicated environment possibly than actually setting up a treatment centre.
He's rambling on now, come on, what are you on about?
How could you put some of what you've learned into the
Even
care home
Victoria's
context,
pushing him now because he's just rabbled on a load of shit.
Okay, so the past week we myself and a few other co-contributors with other experience in old people care and Ebola response and so on, we came up with a strategy for care homes based around the zoning concept. So just in the same way that you have an Ebola treatment centre, you have to zone it by the whole environment. You have to zone by saying which is the low risk area, mid risk and a high risk area, and then you have very stringent hygiene procedures between each zone. So that's what we suggest has to happen in care homes, although it's probably more difficult to do. But the issue...
Oh, there was a zoning area, you're not allowed in the fucking zone, so you'll have loved ones. Is that the zone he's on about?
And we know that.
Government stop you fucking visiting your fucking family. Just want them chucked in a fucking grave as fast as possible. No fucker can be there while you bury your fucking loved ones. How sick can you fucking get? Sounds like fucking Nazi Germany style fucking living, doesn't it?
This was testing, proper lab testing.
All because it's amazing, isn't it, when they can make up such fucking shit as this coronavirus.
Were not symptomatic. So what it means
all the powers that they can fucking drill around it.
if you provide care to a person who's a resident who doesn't have symptoms, and you think it's fine because they don't have symptoms, so you've done symptom-based screening, and then you provide care based on thinking that they're okay, that may absolutely not be the case, and this is probably the biggest reason why we've got a sharp increase in care home death.
There isn't a sharp increase.
In other countries it's been the same thing.
It's already been said. 1,000 a week is normal.
Rate, so that's where we're going. If it hasn't happened already, if it's not too late, that's where we're probably headed based on the evidence. So how to stop it? You need to.
And I'll show you that clip where it's been said. 1,000 a week die in care homes.
Downstairs, and you need to map it out and zone it, just like you would in a treatment centre. And how we get that? How do we get to that place for in the UK now, where we sort of need to ramp up training and get that done as in now, not in a few weeks, because it's going to be too late if it's not too late already. So that's really our challenge, I believe, in the UK, treating this as an emergency response, like right now, right here, and getting this in place. So
you better tell them stop dancing outside hospitals and everything for a photo shoot and video shoot, so they can put on news and social media.